Welcome back. Having dreams, having goals are very important, but they don't matter unless you can execute on them. It's all about the execution. I've identified 85 things that get in the way of our execution, and today we're going to be talking about execution killer number 10. Today's broadcast is brought to you by Audible.com. For a free 30-day trial and a free download, simply go to audibletrial.com/peak performers.
Welcome to this edition of Peak Performers Podcast with your host, Thor Conklin. Thor will be sharing the necessary tools, strategies, and psychology you'll need to become a peak performer in any area of your life or business.
Thor Conklin here. We give you the tricks, the tips, the tools, the strategy, the technology, and the psychology peak performers use in order to get more done and execute at the highest level. If you know what to do but struggle with getting it all done, or simply want to raise your game to the next level, this podcast is for you. Sit back and enjoy. How many things did you have on your calendar that you never got done in the last 7 days? What about the last 30 days? The last quarter? The last year? How many items, how many tasks, how many projects went undone? What excuses did you tell yourself why it didn't get done? I'm too busy. I don't have enough time. There are more important things. I've got projects for clients. I had family obligations. Now, I'm not saying that any of these excuses weren't true, but you allowed them to get in the way of your execution, of getting something done that you determined was important. Why is that? Simple. No deadlines or consequences. That's why. That's the only reason why. Now look, if I told you that you have 5 minutes and 5 minutes only to call that prospect, Pete, the one you've been trying to call now for a week, a month, who knows how long, and you've been putting it off. Well, I'm going to give you 5 minutes to call him. That's all you have. And if you don't call him, everyone that you have ever loved in your life is going to die immediately. A horrific death. Done. Wiped off the face of the earth. Now, is it going to be any problem for you to figure out how to call Pete in the next 5 minutes? No, of course not. Why? Because there's a deadline and there's a massive consequence if you don't do it. Now, for your listeners that don't have any loved ones that don't care for anybody, you are also going to be part of this consequence as well. No, you're not going to die, but you're going to contract a horrible disease and very important body parts are going to start to fall off within 10 minutes. Are you in? Good. We've got to get focused. Follow one course until successful. We've got to eliminate everything else that's not important, stay focused on what is important, and set up deadlines and consequences. I want you to think of something that's really important for you to be working on. I don't care if it's a project or simply a task, doesn't matter, but something that you need to take action on. You've been putting it off, it's been on your calendar, and it just keeps rolling from day to day, week to week. I want you to set a deadline in the next 36 hours that you're going to devote a minimum of 2 hours if it's a project that you're working on, or if it's simply a task or some action that you need to take that's only going to take a few minutes, that you do it within 36 hours. Now, why 36 hours? Because we're human and we start to view time differently. Now time is one thing. Future time is another. In the future, we think, oh, you know what? I have all this time. I can get to it. I've set a deadline. It's 30 days out in the future. Well, I'll just get to that. It'll happen. Well, what happens? Nothing happens. And all of a sudden you find yourself 2 days before and go, oh, shoot. I've got to work on this thing. Look, April 15th in the United States, what happens? Everyone says, got plenty of time. And then on the 14th of April, everyone's sitting down trying to figure out how to do their taxes. It's just human nature. You want to make these deadlines now. Make them for hours in the future, not days. Great. We have it on our calendar. We've got a deadline. It's a short deadline. And we have to add in consequences. What happens if we don't do it? Come up with some consequences. You can't turn your phone on until you get this task done. You can't use the bathroom. You can't eat until it's done. Women, you can't wear makeup for a week unless you hit this deadline. Try sending a really bad picture of yourself to a friend and tell him or her, look, I've got 36 hours to get this project done. If I don't get it done, I want you to post this picture of me on social media. Maybe that's some leverage. If you own your own business and you do payroll once a week, don't do payroll for yourself until you get this done. There's got to be some pain for not doing it. Now, on the flip side, there also needs to be consequences for getting it done. Remember, consequences is not a negative connotation. It's simply something that arises as a result of you doing something, either doing it or not doing it. Reward yourself. Come up with some great rewards. Go for a massage. Ring a bell. Celebrate. Buy yourself that new pair of shoes. You want to train your mind to anticipate rewards for doing something. Pavlov's dog, right? Ring a bell, salivates. Ring a bell, salivates. Because the dog knew that it was going to get a treat. We're not that much different than a dog. Some tools that can help you with this are free apps out of the App Store. There's two of them. They're both the same. One is called Today, and the other is Habit Bull. And what they do is they help you set up habits in any area that you choose. Get the app and plug in there, I commit to getting my number one priority done every single day. Or I commit to spending at least an hour on this project every day until finished. And every day that you do that, you simply click and it'll start to build a string of successes. Play a game and make sure that the links, those linked successes, don't get broken, where your entire chart shows all green, no red. So question of the day, where in your life, where in your business, is there something that you've been putting off day after day after day, and it needs to get done, and now is the time to do it? Schedule it in your calendar for the next 36 hours. Set up a real meaningful consequence for doing it or not doing it. And I know you're going to do it, so you're going to get the reward, but make sure that on the flip side, there's a negative consequence there that is going to drive you towards completion. Celebrate the win and download one of these apps to help you in the process. I would love to hear your successes in this area. Our private Facebook group, Peak Performance Nation, is a great place to go in there. Share your wins, share what worked, share what didn't work, how you modified it. We're always looking for new ways to take our success to the next level. And by you sharing, you just might be helping someone else. Thank you so much for listening today. I really do appreciate your time, and I hope you found today's show valuable. If you would like to receive these shows automatically to your phone or to your computer, simply go to iTunes and subscribe. After listening to several of the shows, if you're so inclined, please leave us a 5-star rating, as this helps us reach additional people and spread the message. If you're truly committed to taking your life to the next level and doing whatever it takes to become a peak performer, but something's holding you back, something is blocking your way, and you just can't seem to figure out what it is, send me an email to info@thorconklin.com, and I'd be more than happy to get on the phone with you. We'll schedule a 15-minute discovery call. No obligation, no cost. I absolutely love to hear from the listeners, and if there's something I can do to help, I'd be more than happy to do that. Also, if you found something of great interest in today's show and you want to share that with your friends and family, simply go to my Facebook page, Thor Conklin, click on the episode, hit the share button, and share it on your page. You can follow me at Twitter at Thor Conklin. The website is thorconklin.com. We're constantly adding new free resources, discussing additional tricks, tips, tools, and strategies on how to be a peak performer. Remember, I try to keep these episodes short so you can listen to them during dot time, doing other things, commuting, driving, walking, working out. Decide to be a peak performer in all that you do. And until tomorrow, have an absolutely amazing day.